Hello, it's been forever since I've last played this game and or have even recorded and read. I feel like it's been like a month or 2 months at this point. It's been nice. Been nice not having to read out loud to myself for about an hour every other every other week. Had a fun time playing Batman. That was fun to get something just to play a game for like the shits and giggles of it. I don't remember exactly where I left off. I know that we were doing like the whole uh Jacobo part, but I forget where we left off. I think we left off at figuring out that what was her name? Maria was a traitor. But yeah, the next early morning. Let's read. I haven't changed a bit. If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that, acting. Much like I do around you. Maria, our friendship will never change? What a fucking joke. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in, and they call you astute. You can taste that fucking irony. Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, it's suffocating to play the good girl. That stupid, cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Ugh, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just from thinking about it. Nice. It's an exact reminder of that she is the bad guy. I forgot. You're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me? I told her to stay away from my gatherings. I had the rose garden torn down, and yet she still finds other men. I warned her, told her if it wouldn't happen again, that if she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. Jacobo, out of my way, Maria. I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter's about. Who is this man? And depending on how she answers, hold it, Jacobo. Calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to stay calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. You try to talk to her right now, and you aren't gonna go anywhere. You aren't gonna get anywhere. You're aware of just how frenzied you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's gonna tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not her real. That's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but not a bad person. The woman who wrote this letter to another man, she crossed the line. You hear me? I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. But remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble family. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be nobility, but I have the Koska. We have our own way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's a plain as day. It's only gonna make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me to act like nothing's happening? When she so blatantly disrespects me? Jacobo, could you let me take care of it? I'm friends with the madam. You know that. She'll listen to me. So I'll make sure it gets through to her. Just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you. It would be disgraceful. There's nothing to be ashamed of. What did I tell you? I'm on your side, and you're on mine. We're in this together. You can ask me things that you couldn't ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. Damn it. You're right. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware that I always lose myself in her presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash. I'll make sure everything works out. Got it? You and the madam can go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain, and I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't make that face, Jacopino. Thank you, Maria. Please, let her know that even if she is seeing other men, And even if she does silently mock me for not being of noble blood, that I still love her. That I don't want to raise my hand against her. You love her? That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say, though, I was surprised to hear you lost your head at that badly. Quite the little crush you've gotten on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being, and presto, all your problems would be solved. But you can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you're convinced of something, Chikobo, you never let go of it. And she's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam. I got nothing against you. I just didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now. Not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down, it gives me goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. Is that like her talking in her head? Because I think that's what that is. Why her go? How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Would he not take it? Oh no, he took it, just, Don't you feel bad about this, madam? He said he's too busy with work, and tossed the letter aside. I told him to make sure he writes you a reply, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It kills me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he's so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of his day to read the letter you poured your soul into writing? It's unacceptable. I'm sure he's really is busy. He'd not throw it away, though, did he? I imagine he means to read it when he has more time. Madam, after everything he's done to you, you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe that day will come when he gives me his attention again, as he did before. Madam, so could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? To have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him. Something tells me that it will all work out if you pray for it. Yeah, okay. If you're fine with me praying, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I'll have faith. Thank you. I would like to write another letter. When it's complete, could I ask you to deliver it to him? I'll give him as many as you want. As many times as it takes for you to get through to him. Ooh, you really ought to learn your lesson. Oh wait, I don't know why that caught me off guard. You really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madam. Take a real close look, and you'll see exactly who it is that ground your happy life little in dust. Wait, what? And you'll see exactly who it is that's grounding your happy life into little dust. Thank you, Maria. I'm the reincarnation of Mother of God. Oh God, I can't hold back the laughter. This is a stage of my own creation. We didn't have enough actors, so the playwright had to take a role on herself. But that only adds to the excitement. Yes, this is all my masterpiece. You're just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune, from the first shot to the last, blind to his fingers setting on the trigger. Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madam meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side out of sight from the mansion, making the perfect place to hide? I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam's having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings, and they don't act like they're just friends. But to be clear, I don't have any solid proof, so it'd be best if you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing around accusations only to find out too late it was all a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of the people come in and out of the house after all. What? You want to keep me from leaving her room? You want me to keep her from leaving her room? That might be for the best. With so much going so well, it makes me think even God's on my side. They could all just talk it over with one another, but they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I could trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my god, it was perfect. Hey, Jacopo, I could just I could just miss me I could just be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam. Like she's been on edge and something. I try to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let it slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You're going out to survey a construction site today? Right. Then I suggest you get that taken care of quickly. A dance? At this time of night? Yep. And since it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling courtesy of me. But, but this room is too small for. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He probably wouldn't. He would complain. Yeah, he would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacopo's out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night somewhere else. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget that. Does my staying the night somewhere else have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone else. What? What's that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite the time. Look at you. You're out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you know, you need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interest at heart. She doesn't even suspect. She doesn't even suspect me in the slightest. And I was able to put that perfume to great use. That money-sucking leech Tommaso showed up at the perfect time too. I'm pretty sure that's when Jacobo started getting actively violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing, always imagining the worst and making things worse for it. Wow, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky at who it is, little Miss Campanella. There's a surprise, didn't expect to see you this side of the gray old blue. Oh, I've been giving Jacobo a hand. Huh, well, color me impressed. After what happened, I wouldn't thought you'd want nothing to do with him. That's between our parents. Jacobo didn't have anything to do with that. Well, would be nice for all the younger generation to go through life without nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So, what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little, you know how it is, having a bit of trouble staying afloat. I see. So you're here to beg for offerings? Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point in having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with a chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Unfortunately, numbers were supposed to go up, but for some reason, they ended up going down instead. Might be best if you kick the gambling habit. No, that's like telling me to go off myself. I bet. So say, Tommaso, maybe I could pitch in a bit too? Oh, you mean it? That'd be a huge help. There's seriously no scrape of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone who face needs a visit from my fists? Depending on the number, I could also possibly cut him into chunks and toss him into the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? It'll be easy, and it's nothing bad either. You're going to talk to Jacobo, aren't you? Well, there's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He can get pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so? Sounds like she's got it rough. She does, and she's religiously devoted to him, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back on good terms with him, but hadn't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should be working through, though? Normally, yes, but it reached to the point where I can't bear to sit back and watch it anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. I'm not important right now. Just doing the right thing. But the thing is, Jacobo won't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you, being a man, might be able to get through to him a little better than me. Doubt he'll listen to me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close though. And I doubt he hates you. He hates you. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anywho, talking's something anyone can do. So what do you want me to tell him? I need you to give him a little bit of scolding. Tell him that the madam came to you asking for advice and that she accidentally let it slip that the way he treats her day to day causes her grief. I've never met his wife before though, you know? It works even better that way. She's so downtrodden she can't talk to anyone about it, and she thought that maybe you, being family, might be able to help. She never met you, but she still latched onto the ray. She's never met you, but she still latched onto the ray of hope. And I'm sure when Jacobo finds out she brought it up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside, you know? You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with him. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all you need to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Oh, right, one more thing. This is the perfume that's grown quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. If he won't take it, you keep it. Give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If Big Bad Jacobo gives her something like that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Never thought the day had come when I get to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kinda excited about this. Stay focused, Tommaso, and thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just pulling the strings from the shadows. The relationship's in complete shambles, and Jacobo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madam says she still believes in him. Huh. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacobo, poor madam. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls next to, and how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I would be nudging it along the way. So it's just a bunch of flashbacks on everything that actually made him, Jacobo, mad as hell. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. D1 hater right here. Maria's a D1 hater. I think I'm fairly certain they went out of their way to pick like I don't know if Maria is a saintly name, but it kind of sounds it, to me at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's why they chose the name Maria. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to the lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. At the time, I too believed that Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close that I discovered the truth. Then I now know how the tale ends. Then I know now that, then I know. Oh wow, I don't know why I can't read this. No and now, it's messing me up. No, now and how. Then I know now how the tale ends, you say? Yes, that is correct. Well, aware that it's not the case, I told you the story in a way that suggested she was the one on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my, I wonder if that constitutes as lying to you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning when Maria's ill intention were still veiled in the shadows. I wanted you to know the same feeling of the consternation I experienced. Okay. Why is she crying like that? The white-haired girl continued to write letters after letters. They were all addressed to her dear husband, detailing her ever persistent love for him, and her desire for the relationship to return what it had been once. My beloved, I'm sure your hands are quite full right now, but that's fine. It does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? That was, perhaps, the most wonderful day in my life. I had a truly incredible time. I still treasure the gift you gave me, for it's the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I will ever progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It would be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have a little respite from work, we can go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away, and we could dine at a restaurant more to your liking. Although, I think the cuisine at the other restaurant was exquisite personally. Do I perhaps have an unrefined palate? Maria altered the letter before delivering them, however. She changed the address from Jacobo to another man. She would cut away the top of the page with Jacobo's name on it, and in the space below write a different name. She could not have mimicked the white-haired girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but Maria could make a single name look like adequately similar. And it would, after all, be quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Okay, so that's how she did it. Do we get to read how she read it? How he reads it? Again? Another letter? Why does she keep writing these? To Jacobo's eyes, the modified letters looked like a profession of love for another man. The more she inscribed of her feelings for Jacobo, the greater the turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed toward him, I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste or chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gift you gave to me? God's sakes, you have to be fucking kidding me. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time, she'll let go, and so will he. Listen to me, resigning myself to the hopes that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering, but when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with their cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacobo continued their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl had never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacobo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possibly, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I do not have the courage, so these letters are my only option. Am I adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you? If you have the time, I would appreciate a response. You're never gonna get a response, though. Not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these or your love to get to them. I could just stop reading them. That would certainly make things easier. It would certainly make things easier. But if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to this other man and what she might be putting in her correspondence. I'd be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacopo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, and then pore over the text when he was alone. I assume he did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. Had he put his trust in his wife rather than Maria, he would almost certainly been able to realize that the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient's name. Everything she wrote about concerned him, after all. How could someone who had lived as isolated as a life as her ever have so many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting her was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long? Would you believe that the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters, day after day, week after week, without hiatus. She had, by and large, run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there's a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in thick fog. I'm not saying I would like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from that one time, you have not told me much of your homeland. It would be nice if we could pay a visit to it together sometimes. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you? I imagine you would have, with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? That's right, there was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention, since it was supposed to have been held in Paris. I was busy preparing for our wedding. I had no time to attend an exhibition, and while I was doing that, giving you, a woman I have never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man? Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstandings. He needed merely to ask the white-haired girl in person to whom the letters were addressed to, whether what they described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have all been unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. Ugh. I feel as though I have now at long last come to an understanding just of what kind of man Jacobo was. While he had a great deal of pride in his capabilities, he had a far less confidence in himself as a person. If he had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would not have been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid of being rejected by her, afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him, where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully, where she and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in this state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name of the letters would change. Marie was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any of such things, of course, but Jacobo, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. If I could figure out who this man is and where he resides, I could make him tell me everything, every last detail about his relationship with my wife. But what if that information went public as a result? If news of her infidelity spread and were to reach the Cosca? Whoa, that's a funny transition. The fate of the Berzattis. I'm gonna start saying it as Berzattis. The fate of the Berzattis is in your hands, son. There's a limit to what I can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither and die. And not just this family, the whole island will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against an invasion we waste away as we waste away. Oh God, I don't know why I can't read that. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, our methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Compa Familia was an incredibly reticent man. It took all we had to merely preserve his small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, and neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzatti family and the future of this country. It all falls on you. I don't know if that voice is good, but I'll keep doing it. The marriage is happening too quickly? It would be madness not to hurry, given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need the Berzatti name climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're gonna have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's only gonna be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money, power? Yes, those are important. But what matters most is respect. No one's going to follow Capo Familia if they can't respect it. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's just a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through a forest, and once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man who a woman can walk over. If by any chance your fiancé is ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never be content with someone above you. And never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. That's a lot of, this is your responsibility. The fate of the Berzati is in your hands. Kill anyone who stands in your way. Aim for the top. Holy shit. Poverty. It's just a bunch of words. Poverty, respect. So that's why he's crazy like that. I must keep intercepting these letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I can't allow anyone else to learn about how she disgraced me. Kill her? That's how my old man says to handle it. That's the last resort. It's not yet. God damn it. It's downright wrong for me even to be having these feelings for somebody. Fuck. I wonder if all this cursing is gonna get like this video stricken or something like that. Not stricken, but like I don't know, restricted. Maidservant, master, your carriage is waiting outside. How are you coming along? Coming along? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. I'll be right out. Have him wait. Is something the matter, master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir. Damn it. Keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can at least do that much, damn you. Take care on the trip, master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Your fault. What? That we... Hey, speak up. Die, Jacopo Berzati. Assassination attempt. Ugh. Master? There's a knife in your stomach. Oh god, someone, anyone. Silence. Don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. Now I remember where I've seen him before. That's right. I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he held a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with a surprising abundance from a stab wound. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world, it's going white. Come on now. You've got to be kidding me. Damn. Having never been stabbed, I would never know. Hopefully. I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, love comes naturally as flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. I take it that was Maria talking to Jacopo. Because that's the only character that I think that would say something like that. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had a value as a man who wants to go through life being laughed at. I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither their love or compassion to do it. Or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. I simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought. Or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think. But deep down, I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman, who was being made to marry a man she had never ever met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. But because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. I didn't have to be anything. It didn't have to be anything grand. I had genuinely wanted that. The day after our wedding, when I first saw her, her face partially obscured behind the veil was gorgeous, and crucially, she was smiling at me. I'd expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to be a permanent part of my life. I truly did. I wanted to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it. I feel nauseous. What what time is it? The world's a blur. So hot. You mustn't get up. The doctor said bacteria entered your body while you're going your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. But what are you doing here? I was told you had been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out of? Pardon? Oh, I see. Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? I should help. It should help you feel better. Yes. No. Stay by my side for a little longer. Is there anything I could do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand? Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this? Your hand's quite cold. It probably feels that way because of your fever. Ah. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I had been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you like. I felt like I'd finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's fine. My hand is in yours. Thank you. Was that actually her? Uh-huh. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. It wasn't her. That sucks. It was all a dream? Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. And she would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. Jacobo, may I come in? I have another letter. Damn. Reading another letter after getting stabbed. He's gonna lose it. He's gonna absolutely lose it. Whenever the game doesn't give audio like music, I constantly feel like I've unplugged my headphones. The white-haired girl's persistent letters did not improve anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with the gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew between Jacobo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her room, her shed, and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change. Her mental state. It's pointless, madam. You're only wasting your time at this point. I saw him throw away your letter into the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file for divorce already. No. I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually, I will get through to him. So I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madam? Shikobo doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch, a man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure as you. There's no one as pure and as beautiful as you. He says, a witch? Listen to me, madam. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with upper class. He used you. But last year, when we went out together, he gave me this Phoenix wheel at the photography shop. He had the owner make it especially for me. He was just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something like a ring or a necklace or some perfume, a nice dress, something women really like. Has he ever given you anything like that? He doesn't have any feelings for me? I'm sorry. I just couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication really is impressive, madam. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me kind of doesn't actually want you guys to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him is just causing you pain, you've made it this far, and I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep writing. I'll keep waiting, and I'll not divorce him. Yeah, all right. So please keep delivering my letters to him. You're my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh, yes, one more thing. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me how he's been and what he's been doing lately? I do not have much else to write about, so if I could at least relieve him of some of his work-related stress. I am his wife, after all. I should be able to do that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscientious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, and her spirit was breaking down. It's said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite could also be true. The act of waiting, of fervently believing for so many months despite the object of one's affection not returning them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be, with enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. So what, they're like going at like 2 years, I think? 2 years or 1 year? It's pointless, Jacobo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. If she's going to be writing letters, she could at least write one for you. She looks so pure and pretty as an angel, but God almighty, it's only how she looks. You've changed a bit. What? Have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chopping at the bit to go storming on the madam. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You've already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family's name to good use. To put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madam's never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. I'm sure she felt very alone, and so she thought that companionship with other men, anyone who wasn't you, probably seemed quite attractive to her. So, without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly and without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. I cannot. Because you still love her? That's wonderful, Jacoba. And after everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it's foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I still do not wish to sever ties with her. I could not get the image of her smile out of my head, the look of utter elation on her face as she looked through the phoneticoscope, those captivating eyes beneath the veil at our wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. Well, I guess you've always been that kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart, despite how you may look. That's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry, you don't need to let off some steam. If you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here for you until she breaks it off with the other men. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning, and still couldn't do anything. This time, I'm planning on facing her myself. You serious, Jacobo? Yes. I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find that out, that my wife was being unfaithful, and I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from anyone else. But the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later, word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably the best you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things are improving. I appreciate everything you've done. And I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm gonna end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You might get violent again if you go see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it reached a point where, until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took far too long for me to realize that. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then. Break the ice? Right. If you got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it'll reduce some tension and make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. That transcontinental railroad you've been funding, that's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes. Yes, it is. There will be a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there and to hear it. And then you can invite her to ride the first train. You've put your heart and soul into this project, and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, and a day like that, ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across the massive continent, carrying on them people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own on it too? Right. Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which makes long trips difficult. But this new rail system should make them much less straining. It would allow me to show her the world. Yes, yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It'll go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah. I completely forgot the Transcontinental Railroad was a thing in the story. Ha! Oh my god, my fucking sides. Seriously, they're a goddamn riot, both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep on getting hurt. They don't have to be going around through any. They don't have to be going through any of this. Oh my god, Maria, you're terrible. And these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary's rolling in her fucking grave. Huh. Now, I must say, I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacobo. A shame that the squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity is a better role for you. If they do end up figuring it out, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I understand why he's so infatuated with his railroad, though. I mean, I do sort of get the romanticizing steel, but my kind of steel is a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time I get things moving. No matter how this plays out, you will not be having a happy ending, Jacobo. You're gonna get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria, oh, are you there? Oh, there you are. Shh. What is it? I'm on break right now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, headmaid's saying that it hasn't been done yet. What? I cleaned it. Just a casual once over, but hey. Well, do it again, and do it right this time. Because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn? I mean it. You take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time. I'll take care of it. And don't forget it. Oh, for God's sakes, why should I have to be the one to tell her? Is she gone? Ugh, what a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar's clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there. Yeesh. I guess I should take care of it though. Better than a tongue lashing by that head maid. God, why did I have to be a maid anyway? So she's talking out loud to herself. What a dang place. Ugh, it's so dark and humid down here. It makes me feel gross. Someone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone in there? I came from further in. Oh, it's seriously dusty back here. Who was supposed to clean this last week? Well, clean the whole thing next time, damn it. Just make my job harder. Disgusting. God, damn cobwebs. Oh God. Oh dear God. I did not want to clean this. Oh, for God's sake, stack this stuff properly. Now I've got to fix this whole mess. Oh, for the love of... What's this? Something carved into the floor? Never noticed this before. Someone got bored one day? What do we have here? It's mostly illegible. Let's see. It's not written in English, but my native tongue. But it's not modern, it's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in New York, in the New World? I keep on thinking this is New York City. Most of it's illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those with sins upon their souls, for the redemption of those whom are pure. Should ye me not to dispel your curse, we implore of you, O witch, to mark with it only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwelt within this house, but not I. What in the... A witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does this handwriting look like mine? It's just coincidental. It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting's perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not even hot down here. No, forget it. I didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real. Just a tasteless prank. This is silly. There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has that always been there? Huh? White hair, fair skin? Is this the madam? But then, why is the face all torn up? And her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems to be worn and faded too. Something feels off about it. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor and this painting. What is with this house? It's just a painting, nothing to get weirded out over. But I know what happened. Jacobo probably slashed it up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this would probably put him in the best mood. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. Huh. It's the painting from the first door. That's what, Nell and Mel? Nellie and Mel. There goes something like that. The white girl. What was that? Is someone there? The door is open? Nobody's there. What's this? A painting? Who could have left it here? Oh, are they just realizing the painting now? That's kind of cool. I thought they were just gonna one and done it. Is that me? Why? But my face, it's been cut out. No. Why would someone have this painted? Just to do this? Who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear. Like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. No, I'm not. I'm not. Was it you, Jacobo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me that badly? Why do you... What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? All I'm doing He's waiting for you. You worthless tramp. Are those ears? Are those ears only for show? The house has no need for a garden. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Silence. It's all your fault. Every last thing. Then say goodbye to your freedom. I'll kill you. Does this mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I could wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There is no end. No. I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart into and soul into is complete, when the railroad opens, I'll be finished waiting, and then it's over. I cannot say railroad right there, and I said railroad accidentally. Or if I didn't say it, I was like on the cusp of saying that. But see, doing that whole like no music and it's throwing me off. I didn't read that. I cannot believe I didn't actually read that. Where is the backlog? The Pacific Railroad the Pacific Railroad's last spike ceremony was drawing near by the day. That day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves. Jacopo to confront his wife and the white-haired girl to wait for him. And as that day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote the letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly but thin. I expect that she could not stop. The act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. By focusing her attention on another person through her letter, she was able to maintain a grip on herself. But that day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was complete, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They would return to the smiling, happy couple they had been when they first were married. The harsh winter would finally come to a close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With a constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently waited for the railroad's opening ceremony. I did not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune, and that goes for you as well, Master. Now, Master, the door is soon to shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens next? I see. Very well. Then allow us to make our way to the final day. See with your own eyes, Master, how this tale concludes, and please, do not let go of my hand. I need music. There you go. I need to make sure this thing's working still. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but a surety in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in the shed like a common prisoner, Jacobo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her, said heartless and cruel things to her, and even gotten physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable, even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the infidelity which had driven him to such a behavior had not in fact taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance that they would never reconcile their misunderstandings, and that this predicament would not have a positive solution. But he still clung on to a fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With a desire burning so strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out at her. Are you awake? It's me, Jacobo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you, I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I would like to have a calm, rational conversation. And as such, I will not enter your room until you give me your permission. So may I please come in? You won't even give me a response? All right. Considering how you must feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine. You don't have to let me in, but please at least hear me out. Do you remember the day shortly after we first met, when we were on a honeymoon? Even if you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon, I was unable to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper-class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. And yes, I know that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean that are more perturbed I get. The more perturbed I get, I'm sure I said things that hurt you numerous times that day. However, at that photography shop, when you saw that phenecoscope, you smiled for me. I was I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that I was actually an appropriate present for a noble woman like yourself. Jewels or flowers or something like that. Something beautiful would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that, but I assumed that you would have been given gifts like that countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special. No, I wanted to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenecoscope at all. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. That, if just for a moment, I caught your eye. Even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was, at its core, nothing but an arrangement between our parents, an exchange of money and influence. That's how we began, but that day I loved you. I yearned to see you smile as if I had loved you in my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been complete. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but a railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Locally, they're planning on doing a gun salute, and the sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will be transmitted across the country via telegraph. I've procured a telegraph so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you would probably have trouble handling the crowd at the telegraph station, but here, you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is, I want to celebrate this with you. I have made arrangements to make that possible for you, because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing, tomorrow, to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please, say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why? Why will you not answer me? Say something. Anything. Please. Please. Please, I know you can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, you can just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door is not locked? Who opened it? Hello? I'm gonna drink a bit. Ooh. A humid spring breeze brushed against his cheeks. The drawn lace curtains appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you gone? Stupefied, he glanced about his wife's chambers. To my eye, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day, but to his eyes it was pale and hollow, for the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in that shed. In its place echoed a dry rustling, a sad, pitiful, empty whisper of noise. It came from the lone object abandoned atop her desk. The phenoptoscope? It was the one present Jacobo had ever given the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. When spun and viewed in a mirror, it created the illusion of a man and woman dancing. You, you still had this? That's ridiculous. I assumed you'd thrown it out. The white-haired girl had evidently made considerable use of the phenecoscope. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, warped in places, and had even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling and rustling and rustling, spinning an endless reminder of that day the year before, though there was no longer anyone around to look through it. Why, but you were with other men. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so worn. Why? A letter? Beneath the ever-rotating phenetoscope lay a single sheet of paper. As if drawn to it, he scanned the context of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacobo. The salutation is written in his native language, translated as follows. Ooh, she wrote it in his language? That's crazy. My beloved Jacobo, did the fruit of your dream turn out as you had hoped? I'm sure it was wonderful and impressively fast. A train that can travel across a continent as large as this, like something out of a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. I'm sure it would have been quite pleasant, like the day you gave me this phenacoscope. Am I being presumptuous? I'm sorry. I thought I would keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated me and ignored me. But I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I would wait for you until the railroad was completed. I foolishly thought that you might invite me to the opening ceremony, but it seems I am not good enough for you. I'm going to take my leave of your house, so you needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget about all the letters I wrote. Think back on them from time to time. Do not burn them all, for they contain my thoughts, my feelings, my words, a record of my love for you. Remember when you can that I was always watching you. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. There's a voice whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision's a blur. I'm not even sure what's going through my mind. I'm sorry this is all I was able to write for you. I'm truly sorry. I will leave this Phoenician wheel behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell. I loved you. Damn, this is the 1800s? This was really close to the turn of the century. Here's what's gonna go crazy. What? What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the transcontinental railroad opening ceremony, the letters she had written, her dearest treasure, her profession of love for him, and above all the mangled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. You waited for me? How can that be? The joining ceremony's tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why? Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as planned. The ceremony's on the 10th. A second later, Jacobo gasps. The date written on the letter was the day prior, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony was planned to be held on May 8th, 1896. Oh, it's not over. No, wow, that's like mid-century. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. This can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria. Maria? The madam's having an affair. Maria, no. You couldn't. Scattered fragments of memories began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness, and though the letters had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. In one letter she mentioned treasuring a gift, and Jacobo had assumed it meant a gift from another man, but in fact she'd been referring to the phenacoscope sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last, he had finally made the connection. At that same time, he realized that the only person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted. Maria. Never. She never once betrayed me? She was not unfaithful at all? She waited, unwaveringly, for me. And I refused to believe her. I caused her pain, again and again. But his realization came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they had. But he was much too late. Maria, why? Why would you do this? Clenching at the letter from his wife, Jacobo stormed out of the shed in search of Maria. I'm gonna have to start yelling now, so I have to move back a bit. But she was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! This feels like Silent Hill 2. Several maids were roused from their slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up as the master of the house frantically charged through the halls. Eventually, he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had to close the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between the frame. From within the room, he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened the door, there he saw, comfortably perched upon his own chair, a woman. I've been waiting, Jacobo. Oh, she outfit change. She's got an evil fit on now. Evil ass stare. And the bob haircut. Nice room you got here. Though I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. All these fancy furnishings, you do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me, I get that barren little maid's room. Drives me off the wall. So hey, Jacobo. Clear with your little lady yet? Maria. I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things any better then? You know good and well that she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know? I want to hear from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Come on, say something. Climb back on your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to end things, but then things just fell apart. But then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are smiling down upon me, I guess. Nonsense. She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony, and I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. What? Did you think I'd just tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. Talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, have you always felt? How long? Have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? Must be nice living in your little fantasy world, Jacobo. And this is the next capo familia? Oh my god, my sides hurt. So you said you always hated me? At the very least, I fucking loathed you since the minute we had a reunion. At first, I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it feel any less unfair, though. You had all your money and all your power and everything else you stole from me. And then you go and get hitched to this pretty little lady. And don't try to act like you're the victim here. This is all on you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace, made your goddamn maid, having to suck up to you? Do you have any idea how infuriating that was? Or do you think I didn't know anything? Do you think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, then you've got your head up, way up in the clouds. So you were motivated by a grudge against my family, the Berzatis? Precisely, that's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the capo familia, wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. They say it was a carriage accident, but the ground was all torn up to hell where it happened. You want to tell what kind of carriage accident caused it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over the capo familia. The balance of power and the factions began to change. My family and anyone with ties to the Campanellas was either exterminated or expelled. The Berzatis took control of the city. My grandpa's Casca became your Casca. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think that Berzatis didn't have a hand in that. The great Campanella family bitten by their pet dog, except the dog had rabies, and it result in time that lush historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacobo? And now, first in line to be next capo familia is you, his son. Naturally. Feels pretty good, don't it? Slaughtering my family, leaving us to wallow in the mud, while you live here like a fucking king because of what your family did. I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige. I have nothing left. And that's goddamn outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city, but instead, you filthy Berzatis curs are all crawling over it like some kind of infestation. I'm a legitimate Campanella, but I'm stuck being your goddamn maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have been the capo familia after my dad and grandpa died. But because I'm a woman, I couldn't retaliate. I just sat on my hand and watched the tragedy unfold. It was absolutely miserable. So I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you as no. I had to make you as twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. This is Jacobo now. My bad. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her a part of this? Did you have some grudge against her too? Not particularly. I actually rather like the madam. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. A splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy? Now, can you really call me out for that? You can't. You have no right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They're all footstools to you. It's a little too late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you just had a single conversation, but instead the both of you came crawling to me saying, "Oh, you're my only ally, Maria. How dense can you be? Of course I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. Then you should get your eyes examined because you can't see a damn thing." Maria. My God, it was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstandings and causing your own pain. How you would never seem to get on the same page, watching it all fall apart. Maria, is that everything? The extent of your grudge? And all you did? Yep, that's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you. Crazy pose. Hold still now, I wouldn't want to miss. Maria, does our past mean nothing to you? Was that oath just an empty promise? How could it, when you remember it so clearly? Fine, I'll explain it for you, little romantic boy. Bad grown-ups will even take advantage of good memories. It's time I finally return this to you, Jacobo. That cartridge you gave me, packed with your disgusting sentimentality. Killing you ain't the end, though. All you Berzati's curs. I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge has just begun. Even if you had been a man, you wouldn't have been suitable for the Capa Familia. You should have aimed between my eyes, Maria. Jacobo. Did he just straight up headshot her? That's crazy. Why? No way. If he headshot her, there's no way she'd be speaking. Why? That's the realest way to go out. In a panic, I pulled the trigger, and from the barrel a bullet went flying, quite literally right between her eyes. Would anyone ever believe me if I said that this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? Young Maria, young Jacobo. The rain just keeps coming on. Wonder if we'll be able to get home today. Hey, Jacopino, say something, you little wuss. Be quiet. You're gonna give me a headache. The lightning's way louder than me. Eek. You jump, Jacopino. You're such a baby. You jump too, and stop calling me that. Don't be scared. Don't cry. I'm not crying. Your eyes are damp too. I'm not crying. Not at all. Not one bit. Liar. There's no end to this rain, is there? I'm fine if it doesn't stop. There's nothing at home for me. You don't want to go home? Your parents don't get along, huh? That's got nothing to do with it. Liar. You've got it good. Everyone loves your grandpa. Whenever anyone needs something, they come to him. Now there's a great man. How'd my grandpa become a part of this? Oh, no reason. Not everyone likes him. He just gets as much hate as love. Grandpa's not really a model citizen. He's just shrewd. Are you jealous? I'm not. My old man is, though. Is he now? Well, your dad got his good points too, I think. Like, I don't know, he seems like the kind of man who can accomplish big things. Though he seems like a lot stricter than my grandpa. Oh, come on, I don't get you. What are you climbing up for? No reason. If you don't want to go home, then how about we go somewhere far away from here? Huh? Once it stops raining, let's get out of here. Let's head up to the capital, find some work. We can make it work, the two of us. Oh, and we'll bring Nero with us, of course. If we could, that would be nice. Break free of this city and its outdated traditions. Head somewhere bigger, more forward thinking. If it were only possible. It's alright, Maria. I know you were just joking. We wouldn't be able to find any work anyway. If the two of us ran off, we'd be starving in a month. You'd have to be blind not to see that. Right. Let's go home once the rain lets up. Yeah, once it does. Until then, I don't know. Let's sing. Sing even louder than the rain. Then maybe you'll stop crying, Jacopino. I'm not crying. Come on, let's sing. Oh, it's like la 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 lero, la 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 lero, la 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 lero, la 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 lero, la 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 lero. What does lero mean? Maria, I may not put into words, but I trust you to understand that I consider you a dear friend. Jacopo's father. Listen to me, Jacopo. My actions were justified. I did what I did for the betterment of the city and this land. The Campanellas are too conservative. Under their control, this country will atrophy. Progress will come to those steam to progress will continue to lose steam. If we don't push forward, we will fall farther and farther behind. Before long, you will be made the next Capo Familia. But until that day, you will cross over to the New World and establish the Cosca there. Unify us, bolster us, make us strong. I'll handle things back here. I won't let the Campanellas try and strike back. What? You want Maria to? It's dangerous to keep a Campanella so close by. She has to be taken care of. If you insist, but do not let your guard down. Betrayal is a constant companion of this world. I'm giving you my revolver. Keep it on you on all times. Glory everlasting upon your blood, and upon this earth. The best I can give you is a job as my maid. If I show you any more obviously preferential treatment, the Berzatis are liable to step in. Money, power, respect, and enough authority not to take orders from anyone. I thought if I could obtain all that, I would be able to give you your freedom, and her as well. I wanted to give you both comfortable lives, but none of that got through to either of you. I think he's bad at talking, or like bad at conveying that, extremely bad at conveying that. Everything is slipping through my fingers. Her love, my friendship with Maria, both of their smiles. Master, what was that sound? So much blood, and Maria? What happened this time? You keep getting stuck witnessing the worst things. What? What? Call a doctor. Someone with tight lips. Do not call the police, and don't make a scene. Got it? If so, then go on. Yes, sir. Right. Not everything is slipping from my grasp. My money and influence are all that's left. That is what you wanted, though, is it not? You sought money and power, no? Aren't you gonna go? Yes, I will. But first, I would like to ask you something. What do you intend to do from here? What am I gonna do? Exactly the same as before. There is but one thing for me to do. I see. Will you eventually find solace in your riches? The way I see it, money and power can be your ally, but they can become your enemy in the blink of an eye. If you do not put them into words, your feelings will never make it through to anyone. For unlike money, humans are not measurable by their appearance. Bars. Bars, that's true though. He failed to communicate to anyone what he held within his breast. He was chained down by his place in society, his pride, his relationships, and his own heart. And at some point he found himself in a position where he was no longer able to speak his mind. After enough time, he lightly forgot how to be genuine at all. Or perhaps someone like him would simply not, even if they knew how. Even in any event, there are many things in this world that cannot be communicated without being put into words. How sad a tale this should end with him expressing how he truly felt. How hard it must have been to never clear up his misunderstandings. After Jacopo's confrontation with Maria, The Pacific Railroad was completed as scheduled. Celebratory cheers shook the new world as the last spike was driven into the rail. However, Jacopo, could not even manage a smile listening to the telegraph, and I'm sure you can take a guess to why. The people to whom he wished to share that moment with were not there. Shortly following her death, Jacopo held a private funeral for Maria. Then he commenced a search for the white-haired girl. But he did not do so alone. He hired others to help, did everything in his power to find her, tirelessly searching for many, many years. However, he never was able to locate her, and he spent the remainder of his life alone. Money, power, renown, servants. The world around him was always quite lively, but solitude was his only companion. He waited and waited, and he waited for the white-haired girl to return. The years crawled by, and with no family or loved ones at his side to care for him in his old age, he died alone. I actually really like this little gif of these two dancing. It's very sweet. The entire scene at the beginning was very sweet with her seeing that. Oh wow, there's no, they're just showing us it. Okay, cool. That is chapter, what is this, 3? Damn, that's the third door. I thought I was on the 4th. The door before you slowly drew shut. You could no longer hear the raucous sound of the men from within the den. The faint scent of cigarette smoke, however, lingered in the air. Staring vaguely at the closed door, you noticed something was amiss. The maid who had been holding your hand was no longer at your side. You glanced around, but she's nowhere in sight. Down the corridor stretched only darkness. Not having anticipated this, you were unsure how to react. What's the matter? You lost or just trying to take the sights in? A voice called out to you, but it was not the maid's voice. Caught off guard, you spun around, confused in search of your source. Of the source. Where are you looking? I'm over here. Yeah, there you go. A little more to the left. Following the voice's instructions, you found yourself watching or facing a wall. You look like you've just seen a ghost. Hey now, come on, don't turn away. Yep, you got it. I'm the one talking to you. The voice was coming from within the painting. When you had passed by this wall on your way to see the third door, a magnificent landscape painting had been just hanging there. But now the canvas was a deep shade of black, as if it had been dipped into a vat of ink. Been a while since I've talked to anybody. So tell me, you can hear me all right, can't you? Splendid. Been so long since I've had a conversation. I was afraid I might have forgotten how to talk. So tell me, who might you be? You don't know? Well, isn't that quite the pickle? Then how about we have a little chat, eh? You got yourself turned around and aren't sure where to go, yeah? Well, I'd be happy to tell you anything I can. I'd be happy to tell you anything I can. Just ask away. The painting sounded rather high-spirited. Perhaps he was simply excited to have an opportunity to speak with somebody. So you decided you would ask the painting a few questions. Oh, can I ask? I can ask. I'm gonna ask, who are you? Me? Well, I'm me. As you can see, I'm a painting. Why did I end up as a painting? Hard to say. Maybe I was reborn as a painting because I used to really like art. Though there are things I painted that I wish I hadn't. Maybe that regret. Maybe that's regret. Maybe that's regrets what turned me into this. Oh, okay, I see. It's talking like with a weird like accent theme. Hopefully I can get the chance to apologize to him about that. Anywho, no point in getting into any more details than that. Wouldn't mean anything to you, so enough about me. Oh right, you don't know anything about yourself. A shame that. Alright then, a favor for you since you can't tell me about yourself. If you run into him, could you tell him I really regret what I did? I know I should tell him myself, but, well, as you can see, I'm stuck here. Can't move an inch, so I've got to ask for help. I feel absolutely terrible about painting that picture. I know, yeah, the deadline's way past due on that one, but that's what makes it regret, yeah? Because you can't take it back. By the time I realized, it was too late. He was already dead. He's long since passed away. Huh? How are you supposed to give a dead fellow a message? Well, for all you know, the dead could be wandering these halls too. So please, if you come across him, tell him I said that I didn't mean any harm with that painting. Or maybe you are him. What is this place? Oof, talking about some hard-hitting questions. I'm probably not the one who'll be able to answer that for you, though. I don't have a very deep connection with this mansion, you see. I swear it. I got nothing to gain from lying to you. It's my regret that I've turned me into this. I wasn't summoned here by no one. That said, there is one thing I can tell you. This place summons people. This place summons people. People who have ties to something that happened here long ago. No one knows anything that even happened. I didn't know either till she told me, though I haven't the foggiest of how much of it's true or not. Are you here because you were summoned by her? Or did you come here of your own will to find someone? If you came here on your own volition and you weren't summoned by her, then mayhaps you'll be the one who can break. Who's the maid? I want to know who that maid is. He just said he doesn't remember, so might as well ask her that directly, but she won't say till you've regained your old self. I see. Well, in that case, if you want to know, you know what you gotta do, right? It's entirely up to you whether you make an ally or enemy out of her. There's no guaranteeing she's even right in the head. You never know. Maybe you're not the only one who hasn't found themselves. Who am I? Just because you don't know who you are doesn't mean that you could go around asking other people. I'm not a person, you say? Well, no, you're right, but I'm not gonna know anything about you that you can't tell me about yourself. I mean, from where I'm standing, you look almost like a walking cloud of shadow. I can't even tell what you look like. The maid who was with you before, did she call you master? I see. The question is, which era's master are you? How many doors have you been through? 3 doors, huh? Uh, and of those, did any of them bring back anything? Well, it's not an easy thing near covering yourself. Or maybe you weren't behind any of those 3 doors. Yeah, it's gotta be it. That was your first time witnessing those tragedies. Yours is another door. So tell me, how do you feel about looking behind those doors? Was it frightening? Saddening? Heart-wrenching? Well, let me tell you something. You're able to bear them because they weren't your tragedies. If the next door is yours, will you be able to bear it? Will you be able to accept your own tragedy? It's the thing. It's one thing seeing others suffering, but your own. If you have to face emotions you wanted to keep buried, secrets you wanted to keep hidden away, and the pain you wanted to forget, do you think you'll be able to accept them as your own? If you can't, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't accuse you of running if you chose not to reclaim your old self. Nothing wrong with erasing your memories of something if it was so bad that you didn't want to face it in the first place. Let it be rewritten as someone else's story. That'll make it a whole lot easier on you. Because you never know, the most unfortunate tale of all may well be your own. Or perhaps that goes for everything about you. You won't know till you see it. Well, that's true enough. But once you do, there might not be turning any back. Might be no turning back. Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you're sincerely prepared to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that, a fabrication. If it turns out that you're someone from behind the next door, then perhaps you're the man in the painting. I haven't talked that much in a long time. Feels great. And now that I've got that out of my system, I should be able to get some good sleep in. You're probably still wandering in the dark right now, but I really hope you find the outcome you want. And I mean that. You can either reclaim your old self or you can toss it aside. The choice is yours either way. Now, since it looks like your escort isn't showing up, what do you plan to do next? How about taking a look around the place since you've got a little free time? Could be you came across something that you wouldn't want with her around. Alright, if you're gonna be exploring, I've got the perfect thing. Stick your hand into the canvas, would you? The painting was still wrapped in an impenetrable darkness, a perfect all-consuming void. The man had told you to put your hand into it. Of course I'm gonna reach into the frame. Are you kidding me? Why would I not do something that crazy? You extend your hand into the painting. The moment your fingers brushed up against the darkness, it swallowed your entire hand up to the wrist. No, not there. That tickles you. A little to the right. As the man in the painting had instructed, you groped around the inside of the darkness. Before long, you felt something hard at your fingertips. Clenching the object, you withdrew your hand. Your arm was still intact. Your, your, you spread your fingers, and there you found a key. Ooh. That tickled. With that key, you can access the master bedroom. A while back, she tossed it into me. That damn litter bug. So yeah, it ain't mine. Don't worry about giving it back. However, I bet there's something worth seeing in there if she felt the need to toss that key away. Alright, I'm gonna get some sleep. You take care. If you happen to learn my name, come pay me another visit, should the fancy strike you. Having said that, the painting fell quiet. In your hand you lay a small key. It seemed rather antique. A vaguely familiar silence once again drew over the corridor. You stood there all alone, no sign of the maid. After considering it for a few moments, you decide to explore the mansion on your own. Oh, that's crazy. That's a lot of options. I'm going to save right now and I'm going to save for the next time. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for listening. I'm going to try to make sure it doesn't sound crazy or too crazy. And thank you and bye.